Hi, thank you for watching Digging into China. I'm Dong Shang. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Not too long ago, Pinduoduo unveiled its financial report for the third quarter, and the results were nothing short of remarkable. In the third quarter of this year, Pinduoduo experienced a staggering 94% year-on-year growth in revenue, a 47% increase in net profit, and a net profit margin of 22.57%. These impressive figures naturally lead to a substantial surge in Pinduoduo's stock price. Just one day after the report was made public, Pinduoduo's stock price surged by 8%, reaching a market value of $185 billion, coming remarkably close to Alibaba's market value of $195 billion. As anticipated, on the subsequent day, Pinduoduo's market value soared to $196 billion, decisively surpassing Alibaba and claiming the top spot in China's e-commerce sector. In response to this development, Jack Ma made a rare statement within the company, extending congratulations to Pinduoduo for its success. However, he also expressed belief in Alibaba's ability to adapt and transform, emphasizing that all great companies emerging during challenging times. It is evident that Pinduoduo's ascent has indeed delivered a substantial blow within the internal dynamics of Alibaba. From my perspective, Pinduoduo and Alibaba symbolize two distinct eras in China. Alibaba embodies the era when everyone aspired to elevate their consumption, while Pinduoduo emerges as inevitable outcome of the current, highly pragmatic era characterized by consumption downgrading. It can be asserted that the ascent of Pinduoduo not only signals a shift in the Chinese populace's consumption patterns, but also mirrors the prevailing income and spending levels. The more Pinduoduo prospers, the more challenging life becomes for the Chinese people. As a corporate entity and for businesses, Pinduoduo is undeniably successful. Yet, it also presents a significant concern. Its impact is not only formidable within China, but extends globally through its overseas counterpart, Temu. Today, let's delve into the reasons behind the substantial influence and the potential concerns associated with Pinduoduo. Why do I characterize Pinduoduo as formidable? In essence, this entails two layers of significance. From a business standpoint, Pinduoduo can be deemed a remarkably successful company. It has grasped the dynamics among the market, human behavior, and online traffic, propelling itself to a prominent position as the leader in China's e-commerce. The second layer of meaning is somewhat derogatory because the formidability of Pinduoduo is boundless, characterized by a certain level of unscrupulousness. It is fringing in quality, depicting the company as a devilish enterprise that exploits the peculiar conditions of China to achieve success. We are aware that one of Pinduoduo's significant attractions is its unlimited low prices and inferior quality. Why do I refer to it as a devilish enterprise? To comprehend that, we must first delve into Pinduoduo's business model. On the surface, Pinduoduo and Alibaba's Taobao may seem quite alike. They both offer the convenience of purchasing inexpensive goods online, with Pinduoduo boasting even lower prices. However, delving deeper reveals a fundamental difference in their values. During Taobao's rise, the platform saw the emergence of numerous stores selling counterfeit goods. You could find instances of purchasing a knockoff Rolex for 10 yuan on Taobao. The Taobao team at that time strongly disapproved of such open sale of counterfeit items, considering it a severe detriment to Alibaba's brand image. Consequently, Alibaba decided to introduce the Temu platform, allowing various brand merchants to sell authentic products on its flat platform. Since then, Alibaba's Taobao has continued with its diverse C2C model, customer to customer, while Temu has progressed into a B2C model, business to customer, with brand assurance. If you want to steer clear of counterfeit goods, you can directly visit Temu's exclusive brand stores for your purchase. The individual who successfully initiated the operations of Temu was the recently departed CEO Zhang Yong. He was also the mastermind behind the creation of Taobao's single-day shopping festival. However, he recently announced his resignation. This decision stems from the fact that both Temu and Singles Day are on a downward trajectory. Alibaba no longer requires a CEO who emphasizes consumption upgrades. It appears that Alibaba might be reverting to the Taobao strategy, gearing up to compete with Pinduoduo in a battle of affordability. Therefore, the guiding principles of the Alibaba team revolves around consumption upgrade, brand establishment, and pursuing a high-end direction. So what values does Pinduoduo adhere to? In stark contrast, Pinduoduo is pursuing a F2C path, which stands for factory to consumer. This approach eliminates the need for brands or individual merchant stores. Pinduoduo holds the belief that the presence of brands leads to premium pricing, making the products less cost-effective. Hence, Pinduoduo chooses to receive products directly from the factories, bypassing the need for additional branding. Why bother with labels when I can have the goods shipped directly from the factory? In recent years, numerous media reports have shed light on Pinduoduo's involvement in selling counterfeit goods. The platform is rife with products closely resembling those of renowned brands, and even pirated books have become prevalent. A notable case involves the Chinese medical science press discovered that Pinduoduo was selling pirated copies of their publications, including the Pharmacopoeia of the People's Republic of China and the 2020 National Licensed Pharmacist Qualification Examination Guide. Upon discovering this, the press sent a legal letter to Pinduoduo demanding the removal of the infringing books. However, Pinduoduo completely disregarded the legal correspondence, exhibiting no response. Subsequently, the press had to leverage personal connections to reach out to Pinduoduo's relevant personnel, and only then did the platform remove the infringing books. Notably, this press is a state-owned publishing house, underscoring the substantial support Pinduoduo enjoys behind the scenes. Legal actions against Pinduoduo seem futile, as the platform is shielded by authorities in Shanghai, and established court relationships render such efforts ineffective. Hence, we observe that many publishing houses or authors seeking to protect their rights against Pinduoduo resort to voicing their concerns on social media platforms like Weibo. Nevertheless, Pinduoduo consistently ignores these attempts, maintaining an attitude of "I'm a rogue and I am on the right." This underscores Pinduoduo's values. Concepts of brands, intellectual property, genuine products, and patents are all intended to be obliterated. By eradicating these factors, Pinduoduo aims to offer the most affordable products globally. Such is the crux of Pinduoduo's business strategy. Over the years, the number of infringement cases involving Pinduoduo has been on a steady rise, demonstrating that the company has not transitioned towards a more lawful trajectory despite its expansion. It appears to persist on a concerning path. Let's examine Pinduoduo's litigation records throughout the years. In 2017, 148 cases. In 2018, saw a substantial increase to 1,337 cases. In 2019, rose to 3,199 cases. In 2020, surged to 7,501 cases. Nearly every year, the number of cases has doubled at the very least. The top three categories in these court proceedings include disputes over trademark ownership infringement, disputes over patent ownership infringement, and a dispute over copyright ownership infringement. In reality, these legal issues stem from the blatant sale of counterfeit goods. Pinduoduo's notorious reputation has not hindered the company's rise. Surprisingly, consumers do not seem to boycott the platform, likely because it still offers the opportunity to purchase items at the most affordable prices. This brings us to the current era of consumption downgrading. In present-day China, the emphasis has shifted from decking oneself out in exclusively branded attire to prioritizing the purchase of high-quality yet affordable products. Consider, for instance, buying a pair of shoes from Nike, which might cost around 1,000 yuan. On the other hand, obtaining a comparable alternative from Pinduoduo could be as cheap as 200 yuan. Given that both options serve the same purpose when worn, there is a growing preference among consumers to opt for shoes from Pinduoduo. Backed by China's status as a manufacturing giant, Pinduoduo can easily source an abundance of factories to supply products without concerns about infringement issues. Many Chinese factories, initially manufacturing for renowned brands, have transitioned to producing for Pinduoduo. This shift has led to Pinduoduo monopolizing their sales channels, stripping them of the ability to command premium prices. Consequently, these factories' fate is intertwined with Pinduoduo's control. They are compelled to adhere to Pinduoduo's dictated pricing strategies, recognizing that losing Pinduoduo as a sales channel would spell the end of their business. Therefore, the ascent of Pinduoduo comes at a price: the potential stagnation of China's manufacturing industry, a lack of notable industrial upgrades, and the absence of influential brands. Instead, it mirrors a return to the manufacturing practice of decades past, where factories were primarily responsible for production, earning only modest processing fees. Through this highly aggressive sales model, Pinduoduo has successfully surpassed JD.com and Temu, distributing the most affordable Chinese products worldwide. As a result, Pinduoduo's stock value continues to climb, yielding substantial profits for its shareholders. Meanwhile, domestic factories find themselves squeezed to the limit, witnessing a decline in their earnings. Many Chinese people hold the view that despite potentially exploiting Chinese factories, Pinduoduo has managed to establish itself as a prominent Chinese enterprise on a global stage. However, it is crucial not to overlook the fact that Pinduoduo has concurrently obstructed China's path towards industrial advancement. Strangely enough, this aligns with the preferred scenario envisioned by the financial elites on Wall Street, who spearheaded globalization. They prefer that China avoids industrial upgrading and continues to function solely as a global manufacturing powerhouse, dutifully generating income as the world's factory. While Pinduoduo's strategy of disregarding domestic laws and intellectual property rights may find success within China, it faces hurdles when implemented abroad. If Wall Street seeks to undermine Pinduoduo, it can leverage government influence to impose substantial fines, forcing the platform to surrender its overseas earnings. Presently, the popularity of Temu has indeed created some pressure on Amazon due to its remarkably low prices, attracting unsuspecting consumers. As an old saying goes, too good to be true. Indeed, consumers will soon discover that after making purchase on Temu, their email inboxes will be inundated with spam and phishing emails. They will receive inexplicable scam message and advertisement via phone and mailing. And there's even the risk of unauthorized charges on their credit cards. Clearly, their personal information has been casually traded. Additionally, let's not forget that much like TikTok, Temu is tasked with collecting and analyzing foreign user data for the Communist Party. Therefore, even if it involves injecting money and subsidies, this dumping strategy cannot be halted, as all these measures are geared towards preparing for information warfare and propaganda. Present-day TikTok holds considerable sway in the United States, having ensnared numerous influencers and millions of American teenagers. Its influence subtly extends to shaping opinions on topics like the perception of China, engaging in understated cognitive warfare, and even exerting impact during pivotal events like US elections. So, will Americans embrace Temu as the next TikTok? I sincerely hope not. Personally, I won't buy anything from Temu, even if the prices are tempting. The rationale is straightforward. There's no such thing as a free ride. Americans place a higher premium on their time and personal information compared to the Chinese, influenced by the overall societal environment. In China, safeguarding personal information is often deemed unrealistic, leading many to adopt a nonchalant attitude. Conversely, in the United States, most individuals would be hesitant to participate in activities like spending time on an app to nurture virtual trees or feeding digital fish for a few dollars. Practices such as clicking for that last 1% of progress, sharing links on social media for discounts, and the likes are generally ineffective in the US. Moreover, even many Chinese users today would reject such practices. Americans who have been fooled once will quickly sober up. When their inexpensive purchases turn into disposable items, breaking within weeks and ending up as trash, a simple revelation about the excessive lead, toxic heavy metals, and chemicals in these products can trigger concern. The potential harm to them and their children, coupled with the environmental impact of heaps of non-degradable waste that persist for thousands of years, becomes apparent, and the poignant visuals of distressed dolphins or sea turtles and the left wing in the United States is likely to respond passionately. At this juncture, if you turn to the right wing and inform them that Temu is a spyware designed by the Communist Party, tasked with gathering information for cognitive and information warfare against the United States, they too would take action. Therefore, the prospect of Pinduoduo becoming an influential multinational company seems to be a distant goal. The questionable nature of this business model is evident, and the foreign consumers are not easily fooled. While they might initially be intrigued by an unfamiliar approach, once they realize the implications, they won't be willing to give you a second chance. Pinduoduo's unscrupulous strategies lacking ethical boundaries currently appear suitable only for the Chinese market. Achieving the strength to rival Amazon abroad is a formidable task due to inherent flaws, and personally, I'm skeptical about its prospects. In summary, Alibaba's vision of a Chinese dream centered on advancing consumer experience has been mercilessly shattered by the ascent of Pinduoduo. Once a collective aspiration for all Chinese citizens, the dream of showcasing designer brands as a symbol of status has been disrupted. Unfortunately, just as the Chinese dream was taking flight, a sudden storm blew in, burdening individuals with mortgages, car loans, family obligations, coupled with challenges of salary reductions and job losses. Many Chinese individuals are now primarily focused on surviving, leaving little room for discussions about elevated consumption. Consequently, Pinduoduo astutely grasp the prevailing mentality in the era of reduced consumption, capturing attention with the lowest prices across the entire internet. It strategically outperformed the prestigious JD.com and Alibaba. But behind this triumph lies the exploitation of numerous manufacturers, infringement on major brands, and a blatant disregard for legal norms. Pinduoduo perfectly illustrates an unscrupulous business model, epitomizing the kind of success that can emerge within the unique context of the Chinese model. What we should bemoan is the complete departure of China's manufacturing industry from industrial upgrades. The emergence of Chinese brands is now unlikely as Pinduoduo mercilessly eliminates any brand premium. That is why I assert that Pinduoduo is truly a devilish creation. As for Temu, it will initially face questions about compromising national security abroad, and as users gradually become more discerning, instances of failing for deception are expected. There's a saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. If Americans are short-sighted enough to allow such a detrimental business model to flourish on their own turf, they might in a way deserve to be defeated by the Communist Party. However, I believe such a scenario is unlikely to unfold. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.